Rivian is making a huge bet on electric bikes. Here's why. Rivian suggested the automaker's plans to produce bikes during the past year. RJ Scaringe, the CEO, is believed to have only recently begun exploring the possibility of developing an electric bicycle. With its recent second layoff in 7 months, the automaker has expanded. Rivian filed a new trademark for its brand in a new category. To learn more about this bet, continue to our channel, EV Scene. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video is posted. Rivian produces just 3 different models of electric vehicles at the moment, yet the brand is already getting ready to diversify into other modes of transportation. According to Bloomberg, an electric bike from Rivian is in the works. Whether that refers to a battery-powered motorcycle or bicycle is unknown, but the company does hold patents for e-bike parts and concepts. According to people who spoke with Bloomberg, the decision was made public last week during a company-wide meeting. A small team of engineers is developing the e-bike, according to RJ Scaringe, CEO of Rivian. He had previously described the marque's entry into the micromobility market. Still, he alluded to working on a specific model at Friday's staff meeting. Representatives from Rivian declined to respond to Bloomberg. The e-bike would be added to Rivian's array of larger electric vehicles, which already includes the battery-powered R1T pickup and the plug-in R1S SUV, and electric delivery vans that the company creates for Amazon. Regrettably, a loose bolt forced the recall of practically all Rivian EVs in October. The electric micromobility industry, increasingly congested with automakers, would benefit from Rivian having an e-bike. Jeep, Ford, BMW, Porsche, and Mercedes-Benz are some well-known automakers that have introduced or plan to introduce electric motorcycles and scooters. Rivian's entry into the fast-growing electric vehicle sector led to its historic IPO in November 2021. At that point, the company's market capitalization exceeded $100 billion, making it more valuable than venerable titans General Motors and Ford. Despite competition from Tesla and other electric car companies, Rivian is the first business to create an all-electric pickup truck, the R1T. The largest shareholder in Rivian is Amazon, which plans to put 10,000 electric delivery vehicles into service by the end of 2022. Rivian disclosed plans to build a brand new $5 billion factory in Georgia to supplement its existing one in Illinois and boost its manufacturing capacity after generating more than $12 billion through its initial IPO. Following Rivian's announcement that it had fallen short of its goal for 2021 car production, shares dropped by over 6%. For EV businesses, 2022 was challenging as they faced numerous challenges. Along with Rivian, multiple other EV manufacturers, including Tesla and XPeng Motors, also fell short of their delivery projections for 2022. Although its amended forecast was only approximately a third of the initial guidance, LUCID Motors managed to meet it. Bloomberg initially reported Rivian's interest in making e-bikes. Rivian does have several patents for bicycle parts, though it needs to be clarified if the business is looking at a bicycle or an electric motorcycle. Rivian now has a plant in Illinois where it makes cars and is also building a new facility in Georgia. The R1T pickup and R1S SUV are currently available for purchase. The most profitable vehicle types for automakers are pickup trucks and SUVs, and Ford reportedly makes most of its income from its best-selling F-150 pickup. It is important to note that while e-bike sales are higher than those of EVs in this area, few EV businesses, including Tesla, have entered the market. Speaking to Rivian, it announced during the Q3 2022 earnings call that it would push back the release of the reasonably priced R2 series of cars by 1 year to 2026 to deal with immediate supply chain problems. Rivian is reporting enormous losses and burning through billions of dollars in capital each quarter, just like other young EV startups. At the end of September, it had close to $13.3 billion in cash and cash equivalents. In the first 9 months of 2022, it had a decline in its cash position of over $5 billion. Rivian had approximately $12 billion in cash on the balance sheet at the end of 2021 following its successful IPO, which garnered nearly that amount. Meanwhile, it is looking at ways to decrease its losses and cash burn, and this week it made its second round of job cuts in less than a year by letting go of 6% of its workers. The agreement between Rivian and Mercedes-Benz to jointly develop electric vans in Europe would be put on hold, the company stated in December 2022. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you are still watching this video, and if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the like button. Now let's move on. According to Bloomberg, during a business meeting, Scaringe announced its entry into the e-bike market. Given that Scaringe previously filed to expand the scope of its trademark to include electric bicycles, the move is consistent with the company's prior interest in them. The company bolstered its electric bike design team in advance of what many of us believed would be an eventual e-bike project by luring several top e-bike designers away from large brands like Specialized. In reality, Scaringe stated during the meeting that not only is an e-bike in the works, but that the first model is currently being actively developed inside. Given Rivian's rocky start to 2023, it's intriguing that the news about e-bikes is being released now. After drastically reducing the size of its workforce in 2022, it also announced this week that it would be laying off 6% of its workforce. Scaringe explained the layoffs at the meeting on Friday, stating that profitability and a desire to focus on increasing EV manufacturing were the reasons for the cuts. According to sources cited by Bloomberg, Scaringe acknowledged that the company had attempted to achieve too much too quickly. Although electric automobiles receive a lot of attention because they can replace gas-powered vehicles and reduce pollution, electric bikes are gaining popularity much faster. They serve as an introduction to electric propulsion and are frequently a person's first electric vehicle. Several automakers have made the connection and introduced their electric motorcycles. Rivian, more renowned for being the first company to introduce an all-electric pickup truck, will come next. The business applied to use its Rivian trademark in a new category devoted to electric motorcycles. Rivian's decision to design an electric bike to complement its pickup truck makes sense. Porsche debuted 2 new electric bicycles. BMW has recently launched several electric motorcycles. The change occurred at a trying time for Rivian, which saw a wave of layoffs due to major cost difficulties. Due to problems in decreasing costs as manufacturing ramped up, Rivian recently stated that the company would fire 6% of its workers. Because of this, the business has had to sell its electric cars at a significant loss. Over the past year, Rivian has increased manufacturing of its R1T and R1S electric vehicles with some success, but the business still needs to be able to cut expenses. While they are significantly simpler to develop and construct, electric bicycles, in contrast, are very cost-effective. In addition, the regulatory barriers for e-bikes are considerably smaller, further lowering costs and shortening the development time. With cheaper overhead and a product produced in a vastly greater volume to complement its larger electric vehicles, Rivian could enter the market more quickly. A growing movement against larger automobiles, especially in cities, is gaining support from many urban people. A rising amount of online and grassroots opposition has been directed at large electric vehicles and SUVs like those produced by Rivian. E-bikes are one example of the smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles being marketed as safer substitutes that don't harm city dwellers or occupy a lot of public space. The e-bike industry, predicted to generate a market of $48 billion by 2028, will present the mark with some fierce competition. Due to various factors including improved health, a lessened environmental impact, and lower overall costs compared to owning a car, more people choose to use two-wheelers. We don't know where the Rivian model will lie in the range of e-bike alternatives because it's special and yet to be made public, but it will undoubtedly join a crowded industry. In the short term, Rivian only sells in the US and Canada, but as the business increases output, it may expand into new markets such as Europe. The company's Q4 2022 earnings report, which may include guidance for 2023 EV deliveries, will now be anticipated by the markets. What are your thoughts about these electric bikes? Leave a comment below. See you next time.